Hi, everybody. Take a big show.
FTW Podcast.
Live, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you on Tuesday night. It is the FTW Podcast, the wrestling world in all its laughable glory. I am Harrison, and with me as always is Joe. Say hello, Joe.
You want to? Wow. Hi, folks.
Rob. Say hello, Rob. I'm a little rusty.
Hey.
Rusty trombone.
We got Lee. Say hello, Lee.
Hi, everybody.
Garvin's manning the boards. Tonight's show, we'll be talking No Way Out. Who's having a better title reign, Punk or Roode? Karma working out. Has won and was Vince being an ass? Yes, he was. All this and probably a few other things we found between the couch cushions tonight on the FTW Podcast, which is episode 119, coming to you live on June 19th, 2012. If you're new to the show, check out ftwpodcast.com for more about us and how to get involved in tonight's show, as well as upcoming shows. You can reach out to us on Twitter, Facebook, voicemail, text message, email, carrier pigeon, smoke signals. For those of you guys listening live, we're bringing in your comments throughout the show. It's going to be awesome. Tonight's live chat can be found at ftwlive.com. You can also email us questions at ftwpodcast.com. And if you're on Twitter, use hashtag FTWLive. For those of you not listening live, sit back, relax. This should be pretty awesome. First up, we're going to do episode 118 follow-up. I was not on, so all this completely lacks context to me, so this will be fun. Violent RIC says that guy was in the crowd. What match was he watching? Bully versus Park got a great response, and the whole point was that Joseph Park was an out-of-shape, out-of-his-element attorney. Where's the sense or entertainment value in having him look comfortable, and why the hell was that fan expecting a solid wrestling match? I love the match. It was a pantomime, just like it was supposed to be. R. Klein Fall said, hey, FTW, really appreciate you responding to my comment. No problem, buddy. And giving your opinion on the Bully Ray Joseph Park feud. Even though I don't really care about what is going on between these two that much, I'm glad that other TNA watchers are enjoying that storyline. Even though we all admit that it was not a great wrestling match, at least you guys liked where the story is heading. Keep up the good work. I gotta be honest, that is probably my favorite comment ever, because he's very magnanimous. He's like, look, I don't get it, but you do. You guys have a great time. And I can appreciate that. I really can, okay? You know, I don't like hot dogs, but I'm not going to call someone an idiot for liking hot dogs. You like hot dogs? You know what? Have a ball. Dragon61 Riders says, speaking of shows for younger people, does anyone even watch NXT or Superstars anymore? I mean, I stopped watching NXT after Season 2 and only watched maybe 2 shows of Superstar. This is a really good point. Garvin watches both of them. That's only because he's a hipster. What about you guys?
When I get time, I'll watch Superstars or NXT. They're not bad shows. The problem is that they're only on the web, at least in the United States. And most people don't want to sit in front of the computer and watch a TV show. That being said, everybody with your Netflix accounts, fuck you.
Season 6 is going to be starting soon, and Garvin's going to actually cover it like we do a regular show if it was any good. We did that for a time where we covered NXT and Superstars, and it was all right. The only problem being is that, I mean, it's house show matches is what you're getting for the most part, and it's great to see these young guys that we kind of know about, but I mean, it kind of get repetitive after a while because the talent pool is kind of small. I mean, what do you think, Lee?
Depends how much you like wrestling. UK, we get it over here on Sky Sports, we get it on TV. But there's some good matches, and often WWE tend to produce the good matches via, Next or Superstars. But again, a lot of people don't see them in the US, only have it on via the internet. So I think it lacks exposure. WWE don't do enough to promote these shows either. They really should put it out there a lot more.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, you know what? It's not really so much like a house show. I would actually say it's a lot more like a small indie show. You know, that kind of feeling to it.
What I would love for them to see is just throw in an act like a main event type match. Like throw a CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan on it. Like, and hype it. See if you can get people to watch. I mean, maybe not that particular match, but something on a much higher level.
That's a pretty big damn match.
I know that. But if you want to try and get these shows more viewership, it's worth a shot.
Well, why would we do that when we can easily watch that match again on Raw 1 week later?
I think they did that to start off with, didn't they? When they started Superstars off, they put The Undertaker, John Cena, and that's how they really kicked it off on WGN or whatever the hell it is over there. That's how they tried to build it up, but it only got, pretty average ratings.
Yeah, and NXT did the whole mentor thing, which was just crap. At least the first season.
Yeah,
no,
hey guys,
the season was the only one that mattered.
The only other thing to keep in mind is that the new
edition of NXT is going to be on the FCW campus. So it's going to be a lot of FCW stars as well as NXT, the low card guys. So it should that part of it should be interesting, just to see how they push it, and we're going to see a lot of names that we haven't seen yet.
Right, and in that aspect, it is basically a direct competitor to Ring of Honor, correct? I mean, it's a regional promotion that doesn't really tour that much. That would be getting mainstream attention, much like Ring of Honor was doing.
But Ring of Honor is touring.
Yeah.
Just because their offices are based in Cincinnati does not mean that they're not touring. They're all over the place.
Yeah, realistically, FCW is more like a OVW of TNA. They're just like the training company underneath.
Yeah, Ring of Honor, for instance, Ring of Honor comes to Chicago all the time, and the surrounding area.
Yeah, I mean they get up into the Northeast, and they get all over the place.
The Northeast. All right, Rob, what was your favorite thing about Impact, buddy?
The Bound for Glory series. I'm psyched as hell that they're doing this again. This was a complete win for TNA last year when they did it, and it got off to a great start this week when they did like the big. I mean, the only problem I can see with this battle is that somebody has to explain to the people in TNA what a gauntlet match actually is. It's not a battle royal where people are introduced one-on-one. That's a battle royal. It's a Royal Rumble style Royal Rumble. Gauntlet matches are... Well, I'm not going to get into the difference. Other than the fact that TNA doesn't know what the hell a gauntlet match actually is, this match was awesome. I loved it that Samoa Joe and James Storm were the last two guys left, and those two guys had some great exchanges. It made the night for me.
My thing with the Bound, I will agree with you, Rob. That was pretty awesome. But my problem with the Bound for Glory tournament is that it goes on for 3 months?
Yeah, it goes until Bound for Glory in October.
In October. I just want to make sure that we've got let's see. Well, that's what? No, it's 4 months, isn't it?
Hey, Joe, aren't you getting
Roughly.
married in October?
Yes, I am. That's why.
Shouldn't you know how long that is?
I can tell you it's 120. Well, it's just over 120 some odd days until I'm getting married because I get to hear it every few days. I get an update.
Just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, no, but for me, the Bound for Glory series, I think it takes too long. I understand it's great what they're doing, but after a while, I'm just like, just get to the end. Every year, the last few years, I'm just like, all right.
This is only the second year they've done it.
I thought they did it for 3 years. They've done 3 or 4 years now.
Not to this length. No, Joe, you brought up a really good point. It's basically like the NFL draft in reverse. Like with the NFL draft, everybody cares about the first round. No one gives a shit about the rest of them. With this, it's the same thing. No one really cares about no one's really enthused about Bound for Glory until that last 4 weeks. And that's when it really starts to ramp up, because then now we're not plugging 2 other pay-per-views while this is also going on.
In a way, though, it's kind of clever because you've got 3 months and you've got all these guys who are in the tournament. You've got that backup of the storyline, why they're wrestling and all that. So it's not, they don't necessarily have to explain every match, because it's part of the Gauntlet series. Sorry.
Yeah, to me, it's just a little long. That's all. But I love the tournament concept. I love having a ton of guys in it. It just after a while gets a little long. That's my only bitch.
Yeah, I suppose it depends on how invested you are in the TNA. I suppose.
It'd be a lot different if they had another show and could speed it up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Okay, Rob, what about the X Division title match? What'd you think about that?
I thought it was great. Sadly, it looks like Saban injured his knee during that match.
Okay, now that was legit? That wasn't a...
No, that was legit.
Okay. Yeah, having injured my knee before, Saban landed the way Saban landed and immediately grabbed his knee and didn't do anything for the rest of the rest of the match. I'm inclined to believe that he legitimately injured his knee. I mean, he landed wrong and went right for the knee, leaving Zema Ion and Austin Aries.
Dixie Carter said he tore his ACL.
Again?
I think it was his ACL.
Other leg, though.
Ah, man.
I think
That poor bastard.
That's a great way of putting it. Okay, Miss Tessmacher defeating Madison Rayne. Do you think that now they're building her? I mean, do you think that they're building Tessmacher, or do you think they're just building a feud between Tessmacher and Rayne?
I don't know. I think they're just trying to build Tessmacher up right now, and kind of like what I was saying. One of the things that I noticed, I paid close attention to this match, and I didn't notice as many botches or times that Tessmacher was off as when
as last time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's. I think it just basically reinforces what Lee and I were saying last week, that, she's having communication issues, which seem to be ironed out, and for some reason she just doesn't match up well with Velvet Sky.
That's right.
It clicked. It clicked this week. It really did. It was only like 3 minutes, but it clicked and it worked well.
Right. I mean, she was pretty on her game. And while we're on the knockouts, I'm not going to get into her dress because I'm not the fashion police, and I'm getting tired of being the fashion police. But I wanted.
Wait a minute. When have you been the fashion police?
I'm getting there. If you let me finish, you and I have been critical of Brooke Hogan and how she's been dressing. For her role.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, stepping out of the fashion police role, I thought Brooke Hogan had a really great segment with Gail Kim this week. I like the fact that TNA kind of put like a new spin on the most cliched wrestling gimmick ever. I have a rematch clause in my contract. And Brooke's like, you've got a rematch clause, but I decide when you get it. In that segment, we finally started to see some of the pros that like Jiva Dill and some of the other fans that we have regular listeners.
Did you just say Jiva Dill?
No, I said Diva Jill.
Okay,
just clarify. Joe, I think you're right, which would be just an awful tasting pickle.
But I think we started to see some of the pros there with the way Brooke handled herself on the mic and started to get out of the fangirl into the I'm in charge.
I'm your boss. No, you're absolutely right, and it's one of those things where like it's one of those things that TNA has going on right now, where you're watching this and you're really compelling, and you're watching it thinking, all right, I kind of like where this is going, and I'm interested to see where it's headed. And that's something that we really haven't been able to see. We haven't been able to say that about TNA last year. I mean, we were all just like, well, it's good, but now that they're starting to get these little facets together and trying to get, moving forward. All right, quick, main event, Roode versus Anderson, your thoughts?
Was pretty much what I expected. I mean, I knew Roode was going to win, especially when James Storm defeated Samoa Joe.
Right.
They're going to start building the feud between James Storm and Bobby Roode, which they should, because that's going to be an epic title match. That's really all I can say. I mean, the match was okay. It didn't compare to some of the other matches we saw.
Okay, fair enough. All right, real quick from the chat, Diva Jill says she's got a pickle for me, which is kind of hot, I gotta admit. But I'm married. Thank you. But Joe isn't, so maybe you can give my pickle to him. Speaking of Joe, why don't you... I really wish I could rub his thigh while I said that, but he's all the way in Michigan.
Because it's the first time you've tried to do that.
Favorite thing about SmackDown, buddy? What is it?
I have a problem with the fact that what should have been the main event went on as the very first match. Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan beating CM Punk and Sheamus. That was a great match for those guys. It was good to see the match. I liked seeing Punk and Sheamus, even though they're both title holders, going up against their competitors. I like the fact that they're bringing both champions with both competitors. Obviously, Kane wasn't in the match, but Brodus Clay, he beat Heath Slater. Big deal. Are we surprised with the one-man rock band? Brodus Clay just had to get a little funky on him. Beth Phoenix defeated Alicia Fox. Are we shocked by that? No. Christian versus Jack Swagger was a pretty good match. I mean, those guys apparently remembered when they used to have a feud and rocked it out. Ryback beat a couple more local guys. And I think the match that stood out to me was Damian Sandow versus Tyson Kidd. Tyson Kidd is impressing me week upon week. Every time I watch him on Superstars or NXT or, in this instance in SmackDown, even though he didn't win. My only bitch with Tyson Kidd is his weird ass finishing submission move. Has anybody else seen this thing?
Didn't we discuss that a couple weeks ago?
It doesn't look like it's painful. He looks like he's going for a sharpshooter and then gets him in like an armbar choker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
If you say that his move doesn't look painful, though, just look at bloody John Cena. Just slammed him down.
Granted, I mean, but nothing can be worse than the people's elbow. I'm going to throw that out there right now. The most electrifying weak move in sports entertainment today. But anyway, the show ends up closing out with Cena calling out Show, and Laurinaitis is out there, and Cena's going to go punch Laurinaitis, and he says, "Well, if you're going to do what you want to do, and Big Show wins on Sunday, the first thing I'm going to do on Monday is fire you." Oh, I'm John Laurinaitis, and well, Cena punches him, so then it's a stipulation: which John's going to get fired? Of course they're not going to fire Cena. Duh. That, I guess, ruined the No Way Out card. So let's just go to No Way Out.
Spoilers. Spoilers, Joe. Spoilers.
It already happened. Fuck it.
Here's the thing. Before we move on from the chat, kicking this to you, but can Tyson Kidd actually go somewhere? That's the biggest question. I don't really think that's the biggest question, but it's probably top 15. What do you think, Joe? Do you think Tyson Kidd could actually move anywhere?
I could see him holding the U.S. or Intercontinental title for sure.
Okay.
If you're looking for a more X Division type kind of guy, I know I'm crossing companies here with that definition, but yeah, a cruiserweight type guy, boom, money. He flies around the damn ring.
There's an argument there, though. Tyson Kidd needs a character, like he needs his individual, like Punk and Bryan have done. They need to distinguish themselves. They're good wrestlers, but they need to actually get themselves a character.
I agree with you, but I think that one of the problems with having a character is if you have a character that just doesn't seem to fit TV at the time, you're fucked. Kind of like, I mean, Tyler X had a character at one point. You saw fucking, what the fuck is his name? JTG. I mean, whoa. JTG's not a bad wrestler. He's not a bad wrestler. But he's got the hip-hop gimmick. I know they were starting to reinvent on NXT, but I didn't get to see where that went.
All right.
I don't know. It just, you can do something with him if he's got some of a character that has enough of a personality, but is extremely open-ended to be molded on TV the way they need him to go when they need him.
Which I think is R-Truth's problem, too.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, he's just crazy.
Well, no, I mean, because throughout his career, you've always been, I mean, it's not like R-Truth has never been able to blend into the background. The problem being is that you can't really, there's not really much there to mold. He's kind of already, he's kind of like a character actor.
He's almost like a Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston's character just doesn't allow him to expand. I think that's part of his problem. He's a great wrestler, but.
Yeah, but hopefully, in the future, he'll, I don't know. Anyway, all right, so No Way Out. Here we are, No Way Out. First thing I want to do with the chat, kicking it right out here with this, No Way Out. Seriously, 40 minutes for that cage match that could have given us a Sandow match or even another Ryback. 40 minutes for a cage match. I'm just going to take this one, I'm putting it to the crowd.
Yeah, 40 minutes is a long... I'll give WWE credit. It wasn't 40 minutes. It was around 30, but that doesn't make much difference because we could have had another 10 minutes on Punk, Bryan, Kane. We could have had we could have had another Ryback match. We could have had anything, but it was overbooked as well. It was really... It was slow and sloppy, and it got real, just like... It felt like you were watching two big guys. Like, it looked like Big Show and Kane. Like, they were just slopping around like boring. You know what I mean? The crowd were chanting boring at one point.
Yeah. I don't got anything else to say besides that.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Cheers.
All right. I mean, all right. Well, I mean, what do you guys want to discuss? I mean, let's just start with. I mean, well, let's kick the Divas Championship to the side. Santino versus Ricardo Rodriguez in the tuxedo match.
Oh my God! Thank God.
Which went about as well as I'd like to think that match we would expect that match to go. Is that a way to say that?
I'm so happy that the crowd shit on that match. I am so happy that people chanted, because honest to God, if they hadn't, they would have put it out there again the next night on Raw.
Yeah, that was.
It was like cheap gay porn.
Wow.
Wait. Do you mean cheap as in inexpensive, or cheap as in but this is the same gay porn we always get?
Well, you're the expert on that one, so I'll let you tell me that.
Okay, I've seen three.
I'm so sorry, Harrison. I'm so sorry.
No, you're not, Lee. Admit it.
No, I'm not. You're right. No.
No, I guess my complaint with the No Way Out card is that nothing surprised anybody.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty fair. I mean,
obviously, we might not have done this, but like, if you take a conservative look at the card and just pick people who should win, they did win.
I would have thought that they would have actually. I thought the Punk Brian Kane match was the one where they could have changed something around more than anything, because you could have had Brian win, you could have had Kane win, but the stuck with Punk and minimal AJ involvement. That was weird.
Yeah. It's just like, I mean, Cena winning, Punk winning, Sheamus winning, Christian winning, Sin Cara and Ryback winning.
No, I mean, look, the show was booked by an 8-year-old child. all the heroes and all the faces won. I mean, and the cage match went entirely too long. It was just, okay, here we go from the chat. My friend hasn't watched. Oh, Lee, that hurts. Okay, so Lee and I are going back.
Sorry.
They're going back and forth in the chat, and I said that he's like, brother hug, and I'm like, sure, I'll bring over an English-German dictionary too, just in case. And he goes, sure, I'll bring over a Vietnamese dictionary. That one's, you motherfucker.
I apologize for anybody out there.
Anyway. I don't. See, my thing is, my lineage is German, French, and Native American. So I really fucking hate you, English. I really hate you. I have a legitimate hatred because of that. Anyway, from the chat, my friend hasn't watched wrestling in 5 years, and he said it was predictable when he watched it with me. That's it. That's really what it is. I mean, it was a very, very predictable show. And to point that out, the winner with six correct answers, Connor, was actually right. But across the board, everybody got at least 3 or 4 of these matches right. Except for me, because I wasn't here.
Yeah, you still could have wrote in the doc.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, I mean, the only time that I got anything wrong is when I actually went on a limb to think that they might actually do something that, you're right, like a 8-year-old didn't book. Because all the faces won. It just...
Straight down the card.
So we know what's happening next month.
All the heels are going to win. Title drops across the board. Okay, well, here it is. CM Punk, the one thing I do want to talk about, CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan versus Kane, and then the whole thing with AJ. What did you guys think of that?
It was weird. It was really weird. WWE kind of took the route of not really involving AJ at all, bar one little angle. It was really because they built up over the last 2-3 weeks of AJ constantly been involved, like massive focus on her, and then just to do that one moment was ballsy, just to do that. But it worked. But I think a lot of people were kind of waiting for AJ to come in during that match, which is why the crowd were kind of holding off.
Yeah, just the limited AJ involvement. Just a little bit where Kane carries her off and she gives Punk that smile and wink, and
the eyes were brilliant. They were amazing.
Oh yeah, she's got some peepers. I'll tell you that.
I can't make any comments about AJ's looks because she looks entirely too much like my cousin Bailey. So to me, AJ is an amorphous blob.
She's still in your spank bank, though, isn't she?
No, she is not, Joe. No, she is not. Because every time I see her, I think it looks like my cousin, and that's not happening. No.
So by proxy, your cousin is now in my spank bank.
Joe, everybody. He's all commentary throughout the night. I gotta be surprised. I'm not. I gotta be honest. I'm not surprised.
Sorry, Anderson, we've already done it anyway. So let's.
Moving on. Let's go to Raw, dude.
All right, fine. Raw. Here's the thing about Raw. If you really want to piss off the internet, there's a few ways to do it. You can call Radiohead overrated. You can maybe say you don't mind if Community is canceled. But probably the number one way to piss off the internet was to have booked Monday Night's Raw. Wall to wall. If you were on Twitter, it was just hatred. Hatred all over the place. I could not believe it. Hang on just 1 second.
Yeah, okay, so there's hatred all over the fucking place.
Sorry, my dog was having a dream. I had to wake her up.
Please tell me to kick your dog.
And I just tapped her. It's okay, good girl. Good girl. Yeah, you can't do that in here. I don't care if you're chasing squirrels. First off, they led off with world title and WWE title. Basically, jerking the curtain. Sheamus and CM Punk and Daniel Bryan and Kane. They finally break up Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger. Lee and I were talking about that, and we were talking about it on Twitter. I'm of the opinion that, yeah, it has to happen. And we were talking about beforehand, and they've been teasing it for a while, but Lee was like really, really, hitting the impatient drum. And I was like, well, it's a slow burn because these guys have been together for so long. And I guess they just finally pulled the ripcord on it. Alberto Del Rio defeated Santino Marella in what I hope is the end of the three of them involved in some capacity. There was a tag match. We finally got to see the Darren Young, Titus O'Neil type of we finally got to see this this kind of tag. Well, basically, we're seeing some energy being put in the tag division, which is kind of nice. And yeah, the Heath Slater. Yeah, chat's bringing up. Best thing on Raw was Heath Slater singing. Heath Slater's segment with
just him interrupting. So who'd they drag out? They dragged out Wendy Richter
and Cyndi Lauper.
When they got in the ring, I didn't know which one was which.
And Layla.
And Layla.
Layla was unnecessary, but really in the history of wrestling, as far as Raw, WWE, you can't discount. Cyndi Lauper was at WrestleMania 1. I mean, she was very integral for that era, and you can't really discount that.
Right. And then you had Rowdy Piper come out.
Yeah. Crowd popped.
Yeah.
One moment.
Heartwarming moment.
Yeah, it was nice. He came out, said thanks. He said we really appreciate. And then when they did the Captain Lou Albano thing, that was awesome.
Yeah, I miss Captain Lou.
Yeah, we all do. I miss the Super Mario Super Show.
Fuck you, Luigi.
And then John Cena defeated David Otunga and John Laurinaitis in probably the most unnecessary match in the history of Raw. I don't know. This Raw. It was there's hatred wall to wall as far as on this Raw. It was booked, and I mean I always like giving the show the benefit of the doubt because I don't do this professionally. I don't book wrestling shows, so maybe there's a reason for it or whatever. But really, it was terrible. The one shining beacon on it is that with this whole CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Kane storyline with AJ, I'm starting to think that there is no way this would have worked with anybody else in the Diva division besides AJ.
I'd agree.
No one on that roster.
She's the only person who's really had a character that needed to be developed.
Mae Young?
Mae Young?
No, she's done giving birth to hands.
Don't remind me about that.
Yeah, I mean, but I think the thing that the biggest question for me that comes out of Raw, honestly, is what's going to happen with David Otunga? Are they done with him? Because this is the only thing he had going.
David Otunga just left Johnny Laurinaitis. Was that? I mean, Big Show left him as well. Is that a heel turn? Is it just carrying on as a character?
Well, I with Show, I think he's walking away in character, just being pissed off.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like
basically...
I'm tired of the bullshit. Now Otunga, I mean, obviously he was pissed when he couldn't get the tag from Johnny Ace, but this could be a face turn for him. Or it could just be him leaving and then we don't see him on TV for a while unless he's jobbing to Heath Slater. Yep.
The other thing that you've got to take into mind as such is the cards upcoming August house shows and stuff. Put Johnny Laurinaitis as the assistant to the board of directors as well. So if they're going to go down that route, then David Otunga can technically stay in that role.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like basically from that match, what we got from it is that every angle that John Laurinaitis was playing on Raw is now buried and cut. His thing with David Otunga, John Cena, Big Show, all those storylines that he was involved with are gone now, except for really Eve. And we really haven't seen her. We don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, I'm kind of the mind that I don't really see David Otunga going away just because they had to have bought all that baby oil in bulk, so they got to use it. And there's only so much you can really use that for.
Yeah, I'd say with Orton gone, I'm sure they have extra.
Yeah, exactly. So they got to use. You don't want to just ship that shit show to show because then you're just paying on postage for no reason at all. So I really think that David Otunga is going to come back as somebody else's sycophant. Maybe he'll be with. I don't know. I mean,
Brock Lesnar as his legal counsel.
Oh no, yeah.
Because you can't forget about Fat Tom Hanks, Paul Heyman.
Exactly. Yeah,
seriously, he does look like a fat version of Tom Hanks if you look him dead on. But yeah, we can't forget about Heyman's interaction with Triple H.
Yeah, that's true too. That segment, that was the high point of the show. That segment, those two. I mean, you're talking about two industry vets doing what they do best, and just the riffing on each other. And it's not so much. It's not like. When CM Punk and Daniel Bryan go back-to-back, because these guys on the mic are very rote. I mean, you can tell that CM Punk's really good at working a script, and so is Daniel Bryan, and working a character and everything. But working with each other in a very improv feel, yeah, those two wrote the book on it on Monday. I mean, it was just the subtleties, the small interruptions, things like that, were just dead-on perfect.
Yeah, I loved the fact that Triple H just snaps when fucking Heyman brings up Stephanie.
Which was going to happen, and we knew that was going to happen, but it was still awesome.
Oh, yeah. That's just a jump back to the Attitude Era and all the shit that was said.
Oh, yeah. It was great.
How pissed did the internet get when Triple H literally just buried ECW?
Twitter wasn't happy.
But you know what? At a certain point, and I've said this before, to much anger by people on this show and fans, isn't it time to really bury ECW?
It is time to. It is now 11 years old since it died. It is time. I don't mind them, putting out the occasional DVD and letting go, but it is time to just start to, okay, that happened. Yes, let's move on.
Yeah, we won't go. I mean, we're still not going on about WCW in this capacity. Of course, we're kind of getting WCW, the college years with TNA, but. There you are. Real quick things from the chat. Well, that's what it is. It's WCW. It's like when they had Saved by the Bell, and then some of the people went on to the college years. Anyway, real quick from the chat about me. Basically Harrison, I used to hate AJ for being so reliant on the men in the portrayal of the character originally. Yes, I did. I did not like how they were doing it originally, where it was basically, and this was going to be my fail last week or the week before. When CM Punk kept going on about crazy chicks. No. The thing is, AJ's doing awesome on this, and she's selling this entirely without King and Cole because of the two of them are just treating her like shit. And that is where it is. I don't know. I'm willing to give the WWE the benefit of the doubt after Monday, and because AJ is just working this so well, that I'm willing to think that if this does succeed, it's down to mostly her, somewhat creative, and no one else, because they're just shitting all over this. Chat saying David Otunga's getting a push, probably true. Also from the chat, excellent point. Eve is doing a new reality show called Stars and Stripes where celebrities go through military training. That was confirmed by NBC, so that's where she is, so we don't have to worry about her now. And isn't it time to bury Triple H as the ass kicker?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
Well, no, he's sleeping with the boss's daughter. He's gonna get whatever he wants, but...
Yeah, nose that big. She's enjoying it. But I think that I do think.
Oh, damn it!
I do think it's time. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Triple H needs to just take a backstage role. Props to him They say he's been running FCW shows phenomenally. That they're the smoothest running shows they've ever done in years. But yeah, he needs to go away, and it's time to bury Triple H. It's time to bury ECW. Leave it at that. You know, the times were good. Let's remember the fond times, but not make everything about them.
Okay, I'm just gonna disagree with you on one point, Joe. Triple H being backstage role, maybe a little bit, but you gotta have their corporate presence, and he's doing a very good job of it.
I don't want to see him wrestling much more. That's
no. Yeah, the whole thing with Brock Lesnar, if he survives that, I'd be surprised, but I'm not expecting much for that match.
The problem when they're bringing people back is like it's getting really expectant. Like the Undertaker's next role, it's Triple H again. Brock Lesnar, we thought, oh, they'll go a different direction. Triple H, CM Punk, oh, Vince McMahon, Cena, Triple H.
Yep.
Well, Vader was a surprise. Can't say that wasn't. That didn't get you to go, hey, look at that, it's Vader.
Actually, I expected that.
Yeah.
I like that him and McFoley share suits. You see McFoley's suit? It looks like his dad's suit. I think I looked like that on my first communion.
It was a rental suit.
It was a rental suit. Oh, jeez. I wonder what the gorilla that got it from. All right, so now it's time for Ask FTW. You can ask us questions by emailing questions at ftwpodcast.com. Send us a tweet at ftwpodcast using the hashtag AskFTW and post on our Facebook wall, facebook.com/ftwpodcast, or you can join us in on the chat. Basically off topic, we got a text, basically straight to to Joe. If you could choose a Michigan beer to send to your foreign friend, I'm assuming Lee, which one would you choose, Ken? Keep in mind, Lee's from England, so they don't like American Pilsner shit. They like real beer.
No,
there's nothing wrong with Pilsner.
An American Pilsner? You tell me you like Bud Light?
We get Budweiser, Budvar from Czech. Yeah, but it's not wrong with Bud.
Ugh. But English beer is so good. Anyway, Joe, go on.
Yeah, but if you're used to it, you maybe want something different. If I'm going to pick something that's something local, I'd probably send the Mount Pleasant Brewery Steam Engine Stout, the King's Brewery, the Mocha Java Stout. I like my stouts. Or possibly
proper beer.
Or possibly the stout that I'm brewing in my basement right now.
Oh, I saw that coming. I was wondering when you were going to say yours. And that's from Ken. Thank you, Ken. From the chat, Budweiser isn't a Pilsner, it's an American adjunct lager.
That's very true.
That is true. Sorry, I mean, I'm just talking about Bud Light. I just hate Bud Light. I don't like Budweiser so much. I just don't really like that kind of light golden beer.
And it also changed when InBev bought them.
Yes. Now, did it really? Because I didn't really drink, but okay, we're gonna have to start another show between the three of us.
It did change. It did change.
Yeah.
Really?
Trust me. Yeah, just trust me on that
totally
one.
changed.
I thought all the breweries and everything was staying the same. It was just the name.
No.
You start changing suppliers because it's cheaper. You start changing this, that, and the other things will change.
Yeah,
you adjust your product. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we're specifically about No Way Out. A little wrestling kid on YouTube said Kane needs a win at No Way Out. Do you agree with him, and do you think WWE made a mistake by not putting the belt on Kane? Joe.
I think they should have put the belt on Kane so that Daniel Bryan and CM Punk could have a run to go at it. Maybe they could still do that because these guys are hitting gold, the three of them, doing this weird three-way with AJ. I just hope it doesn't come into a WWE Films porno.
Okay, fair enough. Rob?
Yeah, I think they made a mistake and they should have put the belt on Kane. There's a good storyline going, like you said, that AJ is pretty much selling by herself at this point, so I would have done things a little bit differently.
Okay. Lee?
It's a great storyline. I agree it's centered around AJ. I do not think they should have put the belt on Kane. He doesn't need it. But then again, neither does CM Punk, and there's Daniel Bryan. None of them really need the belt.
Yeah, I can understand where Rob's coming from with this. I mean, Kane having the belt would be great, but really the belt is secondary to this. The three of these, I mean, it's AJ that they're really fighting over, and the belt is just a prop at this point that Punk gets to walk down the ring with. It's not central to the storyline at all. So maybe just get it. I don't know. I mean, it's just an excuse for main event. From MJ Pack, I know him. After tonight, steel cage matches need to go away for a year. They do them way too often these days. There we go. I mean, what do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, but don't forget, Hell in a Cell's not too far away, right? So they're going to keep bringing the cell back. They're going to keep bringing the ladder match back. The gimmick match is not going to go away. So I'd rather see a steel cage if they get rid of the pin as a way to finish the match. I hate that.
Okay. Rob?
Yeah, I can see where they do the steel cage too much, but like Joe said, of all the gimmick matches, I'd rather see a good steel cage match. Unlike Joe, I don't care about the pin submission thing. I like pin submission or escape from the cage. That works just fine. You just need two people who can do it properly.
Okay. Lee.
Yeah, it depends who's in the match. If the pin and submission thing in the steel cage can be annoying depending on who it is, because sometimes there's just no point for it. But I would take probably the steel cage match over some things. But I agree, there's only a certain amount of things you can do with steel cage, and it does get annoying and predictable.
Yeah, I can see where you guys are coming from. It does get, like, Lee, you got a really good point. It does get predictable. It's kind of like a tag match between the faces and the heels before a pay-per-view. You know how it's going to go. It's just one of these things that, I don't know. I mean, it's an easy way to shoot up drama in the thing, but they do happen an awful lot. I mean, it's like,
But very, very quickly, a good example was at No Way Out when Big Show was like crawling out the cage and Cena was like on top of the cage waiting to go out. You could see Big Show literally waiting for Cena to jump off and then go out.
Yeah, that's another thing. If the booking's not, if the match isn't solid, it looks rickety. From the chat, more pole matches and bring back Kennel from Hell match. Wow, pole matches. Oh.
What about the Punjabi prison match?
You always bring that up.
That is, oh my god.
It was so horrible.
They only did one, right? Did they do two?
No, they've done two.
They've done two. One was with Khali, one was with Muhammad Hassan, wasn't it? Against Taker?
Was it?
Was it? Well, no, I think it was Khali, Undertaker, and then Khali, someone else.
No, yeah, I think it was Khali on both of them. I don't think it was anyway. Anne-Marie Martha, I know Val, on Twitter said, with a smile on AJ's face to Punk as Kane carried her away, I wonder, did she plan that to help CM Punk? And on Raw, she did distract Kane too. She didn't say that, but that's more to the point.
Thanks, Jill.
Joe. Yeah, thanks, Steve and Joe.
Wait,
Joe.
what's the question? Hold on.
Oh, okay. With a smile on AJ's face to Punk as Kane carried her away.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Or did she plan to help Punk? Possibly. It's part of the storyline, isn't it? I mean, we're going to see where it goes. And that's all I got to say on it, because I don't know. I was too busy looking up the people in the Punjabi prison matches.
Rob, Joe is determined to be an authority on Punjabi.
Batista versus Khali, Taker versus Big Show, but yeah.
What?
Taker Big Show?
Taker Big Show, according to YouTube. Let me click on this. We'll check that out later.
Yeah, that's what post show's for. Rob, go.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't know. I think I think Joe might have a good point here. That's one of the things that makes this storyline very interesting is you really don't know whose side AJ's on. I mean, one night she seems to help AJ, one night she seems to help Kane, another night she seems to help Daniel Bryan. She's really, like you said earlier, Harrison, she's really doing a good job of pushing this storyline forward.
Okay, cool. Lee.
Yeah, the smiles to Punk, No Way Out, and the little king running around the thing. It's too obvious to be Punk. It is way too obvious. But yeah, I'll give you that. It's unpredictable, which is brilliant. I love that. But I don't think it's Punk.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we talk about compelling stuff on TNA, and I guess this is probably one of the more compelling storylines going on at WWE because it's just they're slowly revealing the curtain. It's very cool, and it's all down to AJ, really. It's definitely not Cole and King selling this. God, I hate it. Every time that her music hits, I'm like, oh, you two are going to treat her like a child. Yeah.
Well, King more than Cole. But...
Well, yeah, I mean, Cole, you could say it's the heel angle, but God, King. Oh, God, just retire. Tony emailed in, who do you guys think is having a better title reign, CM Punk or Bobby Roode? Joe.
I'm going to say Roode. I think people find more entertainment in watching Roode's matches on the whole than they do CM Punk. CM Punk's have gotten...
Ooh.
I'm enjoying them, but I think there's more excitement in people wanting to see Bobby Roode fail and getting behind that than watching CM Punk they want to see win. Do you know what I mean? Like, they want to see Punk win, but they're more vehement about wanting to see Roode lose, and Roode keeps winning.
Okay. Rob.
Yeah, I'm right there. Roode has gone from, his early heel days where his tagline was pretty much "it pays to be rude." He's completely reinvented himself to the it factor of professional wrestling, and he's done such a good job of finding so many different loopholes and ways to cheat and win. And he came out of nowhere. Nobody in the wrestling community would have thought that he would have done this well as a champion. So I've got to say he's having the better reign.
Okay, Lee.
I'm going to give a lot of credit to Bobby Roode. It's been, well, everyone's already said it. They've reinvented himself. He's completely transformed the way he looks, the way he does things. But I'm actually going to say CM Punk, pretty much based on his matches are better. The quality of matches are good. I don't think we've had a bad match yet. That's just, I may have been proved wrong. And Punk, it's the longest title reign since Triple H or something daft like that. And Punk's matches just, they feel refreshing just compared to the normal WWE formula.
I want to say JBL had the longest run before we're going into this. JBL, yeah. He had 10 months, I think.
Okay. Chat is saying Roode hands down. TNA title election matters to the storyline. So that's it right there. Let's be honest. I mean, when you look at the storyline CM Punk's in right now, the title does not matter. But when you look at Roode's, it does. So in the context of the show, of each individual company, I gotta say Bobby Roode is having a much better title reign. There it is from the chat. Here it is. Punk's a better wrestler, but Roode's a better champion. Bam. That's it right there. Jacob on our Facebook wall. Questions for our show tonight. If WWE is going to have oh, here we go. Yeah, that's right. Everybody was posting about Money in the Bank. If WWE is going to have 2 Money in the Bank matches at this pay-per-view, who do you think will be in them with all the suspensions and injuries that they have right now? He gives a list saying for Raw, Jericho, Otunga, Ziggler, Swagger, Cena, Miz, Santino, and Ryder. And for SmackDown, ADR, Cesaro, Clay, Christian Rhodes, Sandow, McIntyre, and Sin Cara. He says he knows Cena is less than 100%, less than 1% chance of being in a Money in the Bank match. I'd say it's more like less than 0. But he has no idea where he's going to be facing a Money in the Bank. I'd like to see him in a Money in the Bank match. Anyway. If you had to pick 2 guys that would be in each one, who would it be? Joe?
I know we're going to see Rhodes. We're going to see Swagger, Ziggler. I mean, there's 3.
Okay.
Miz, I hopefully will win one of them. Give him something to do.
All right. Rob, do you have any problems with his list that Jacob posted?
Yeah. Well, in addition to the list that was posted, I would add 2 names if I were in charge of the WWE, specifically because of the injury situation. I would bring back 2 people, if for nothing else, just for the Money in the Bank matches. I'd bring back MVP and Shelton Benjamin. Both of those guys did very well and put on some awesome Money in the Bank matches.
Rob dropping a pipe bomb. MVP. Wow.
MVP was a surprise out of that list for me, but I think that I think he's dead on the money with Shelton. That's an easy pick.
Yeah, Shelton, but MVP. Wow. Lee, what do you think?
Yeah, Shelton's a good pick. I would get rid of Del Rio from that list just because I think he's going to be versing Sheamus. I would get rid of probably Otunga. I don't know why. And Swagger. I think Ziggler will probably win the Raw one. And I don't think Barrett's going to come back, but if he does, he'd be in the SmackDown one. Except that, no, I can't see anybody else in there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm basically going to echo what Lee said. I mean, Jericho's probably going to be in it. I would hope not. Just because I'm done. I mean, I'm just done with him coming back. I think Otunga would be interesting to be in there, just because if they do put him in there, I mean, he's got to go somewhere, and Money in the Bank would be kind of a big hit for him. You know, I mean, it would be worth. Do you think it's worth? I mean, that's the ultimate question: is it worth rolling the dice on Otunga like that? I don't know, but he's been doing pretty well so far. So
yeah, but you could say the same thing about Zack Ryder. Either one of those 2 guys, though, I think if for some reason they got the stick up their butt to actually do something crazy and let one of those 2 guys win, and I'm throwing Ryder in there just for fun because he's a fan favorite, they're going to be the first one to lose the Money in the Bank.
They're doing something with Ryder. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something. The amount of times that he's not been on Raw, they're doing something. They've got to be.
Okay, that's fair. Chat's saying to bring up some NXT guys. to do the matches, which would be kind of interesting. Although it's more of a mid-carder moving up to a upper-carder, or it's a really good way to test guys out. From the chat, I think Money in the Bank is going to lose a lot of prestige this year. Daniel Bryan left a lot to live up to. Ooh, yeah, I would say, yeah, you could say that, but CM Punk probably did more. I mean, the guy is Mr. Money in the Bank.
I love the fact that everyone's calling that it's now who's going to be Mr. Money in the Bank when when the man who invented that term was Ken Anderson.
We don't talk about that. And chat's also saying, sure, they're doing something with Ryder. I would say what they're probably doing is just burying him. Fun fact from Robert.
Ryder back?
Yeah, fun fact. Jesus. Robert posted this on our Facebook wall. Top guys who never won Money in the Bank: Cody Rhodes, Dolph Ziggler, John Cena, Chris Jericho when his suspension is over for whatever reason, Zack Ryder, Kofi Kingston, Ryback, Santino Marella, and Wade Barrett. It's being discussed in the live chat. With the smaller roster, should they only do one match, or should they keep it at two? What do you think, Joe?
If you're going to drop, I could see it going either way. If they're only going to do one, make that the main event of the pay-per-view.
Wouldn't that be wild?
It's where the name comes from. Fuck, make that the main event.
It would never happen.
I know, but
Royal Rumble isn't the main event.
Yes, it is.
It's
a thing that goes on last every fucking year.
Next year, you can bet John Cena will be the main event in Royal Rumble. You can bet it.
Hell, I'm surprised John Cena's not going to win Money in the Bank. He's going to win all 3 Money in the Bank matches. They'll do a third one just so that he can face himself.
And he's going to win the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE title and the US title in the same.
And the tag match by himself. Rob, what do you think?
I think they should only have one. I mean, all this year we've seen them moving Raw and SmackDown into basically one show and kind of like ending the rivalry between the two brands. And if you're going to continue doing that, then there's really no purpose to having 2 separate matches.
No, that's fair. Lee, what do you think?
There's no purpose in doing 2, but I want to see them do 2 just because there's more than one person that they need to get over, and Money in the Bank is perfect. Especially Dolph Ziggler sticks out like mad. Cody Rhodes is the other one. Just going back to what Robert said, John Cena, I would never give him Money in the Bank because he doesn't need it. Same with Jericho. And Santino Marella, if he was ever the WWE champion, God help us all.
And there's an easy way to fix the gotta fill 2 matches. Don't put 8 or 9 guys in one match. Do 6. Cut it down a little bit.
Oh, that could work too. I don't know. I'm a fan. This is something that Garvin's been talking about. Having NXT give NXT a title. I like the idea of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, kind of like the 3 tiers of WWE, kind of being given a title and therefore Money in the Bank matches on this pay-per-view. I kind of like that idea because then you could have NXT open the show or have that be a dark match on YouTube or something. But I basically, Joe, I'm with you. I don't know if I like the idea of having fewer Money in the Banks. I like the idea of having more briefcases because it does kind of add some tension to each show, even though, like Rob said, SmackDown is clearly becoming the B show. Styles Clash 10 on Twitter tweeted us, said, why does AJ have a pop music style theme song? Buck Cherry's Crazy Bitch is a much, much more appropriate theme. Do you think AJ needs a new theme? Joe?
Yes, whoever Jim Johnson, you came up with that crappy ass theme. It's crap. Should they use Crazy Bitch? They won't because, well, it says bitch and they're trying to be PG. I don't know. Could they use Kazarni's old music?
Rob, do you think AJ needs new music?
As long as she's going to be in her different, in her current gimmick, yeah, I think so. The WWE historically has had a great ability to run the, for lack of a better term, the crazy bitch gimmick. They did it with Mickie James. They did it with Victoria, or who's now Tara in TNA. They need to give, if that's the persona they want to push for AJ, they need to give her a theme music that reflects that.
Okay. Lee, what do you think?
You can argue that the pop kind of goes into the like mental character, like it's all just randomly all over the place. But yeah, we've already said it. Victoria's theme sticks out as a major, just like crazy theme, and even Mickie James to an extent was good. Yeah, I'd change it just to fit the character. It depends how long as well that they go with the certain gimmick that she's using.
So do they spend the money and get the tattoo song again that they used for Victoria?
Did you not like that theme? That was brilliant.
Oh, I loved it, but do you think
was.
they'd spend the money? Because that was probably her best theme.
It was a best theme. I would spend the money just to enhance the gimmick. It would go over a hell of a lot more, and everyone would recognise it as soon as they came out. But I suppose if they used the same theme as they did Victoria, they'd think, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, but they changed Victoria's theme for long enough that I think that it superseded.
Yeah,
I mean, but I do think that they had one of the times that Victoria came out, they timed the bell perfectly, so you actually thought it was part of the song. It was hilarious. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Me personally, I don't know. I think when people do the crazy, just a crazy chick thing, I think it's dismissive of the character, and I like the idea of doing the pop thing because it has to give her an identity beyond this theme or beyond this gimmick, to show that, we're playing up the quote crazy angle but anything. But when I look at AJ, I don't think crazy chick. I think a really good manipulator, and I like the idea of having this kind of pop music that's a little off kilter and makes you think, okay, she's clearly 2 steps ahead of everybody else. All right, time for news. With the success of the new Joseph Park character, TNA officials are looking to keep both Joseph Park and Abyss on television as full-time characters, similar to the multiple faces of Foley back during the WWE's Attitude Era. Though Rey Mysterio's current suspension for his second violation of WWE's Talent Wellness Program expires in less than 2 weeks, he is not advertised for any WWE live events, and someone picked up Rey Mysterio for the draft. Who did that? I wanted to make a note of that. Connor. Nice move, Connor. Karma, who has not appeared in a WWE ring since the Royal Rumble, tweeted a picture of herself working out with a personal trainer. Responding to a fan whether she was training for a WWE, she replied, "Yes, very hard. Both the image and the response have since been deleted because we all know once something is deleted from your Twitter account, it never shows up anywhere else again," which is why you can see it on her Facebook page. If you go to facebook.com/FTWpodcast and see her working out. She's doing some kind of, I don't know, reverse press, something or other. I don't know. But, she's working hard. Some people felt that Vince McMahon went over the line with his blistering impersonation of Jim Ross in a backstage segment on Monday's Raw Super Show. I was one of them. Which saw the WWE chairman make a horribly distorted face, ridiculing the Hall of Fame broadcaster's affliction with Bell's palsy by going stone cold, stone cold, stone cold. Ross suffers from the condition, apparently, which sometimes results in temporary paralysis of his facial muscles. And if you did not know that, congratulations. There you go. This happened 2 weeks ago, and here's why it's in the news. Does anybody remember Mark Madden?
Mark Madden.
Exactly. Basically, Mark Madden decided to jump on Twitter and remind everybody that he's still alive by blasting the WWE chief of the company, and basically said it was, it was unforgivable. He's a scumbag, a twisted, emotionally crippled jerk off. He's not even mocking a stranger. He's one of the most valued employees. But here's the thing: WWE touts anti-bullying, yet babyface Vince mocks Jairus Barbecue's medical condition. It's one thing for heels to be bullies and get what they have coming. It's another for fails to make bullying look cool and fun. I gotta be honest. I completely agree with that, and that was actually my fail last week, but I couldn't be on the show. Was Vince basically being a bully throughout the entire show? If you watch Vince's actions throughout the entire show, every single segment, he was bullying somebody.
Yeah,
he pushed a wheelchair, or not a wheelchair, the little rascal scooter. Basically Vince's attitude is, hey, everyone be a star unless someone isn't in the building or not a lot of people like him.
The one defense that Vince has, and it is one defense, is that JR said it before, that his on-air character that they take the mick of, and I know it's part of his real life as well, is completely different to the actual, backstage meetings they have and stuff like that. But you've got to draw the line somewhere. That is ridiculous, but you can't help feel as a viewer, what the hell are they doing? They're doing that. And everyone picked up on it. It wasn't even just, us. Every casual fan just went, what the hell? And the ironic thing about that Madden didn't realise was, in the background, there was a nice little Be a Star poster, which was quite...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to appreciate that irony. Alberto Del Rio was removed from his match out because of a concussion. However, the very next night on Raw, he showed up and had a match with Santino Marella. You talked about that, didn't you, Lee? Didn't you tweet about that? Was that you?
Yeah, we got a thing saying Del Rio had arguments over his actual. Well, there's actually various different things going around. Some say his contract. They want to discuss that. Some say he's unhappy with his booking. And some say it's just a mix of the two. But I don't. I don't think many people would miss Del Rio. That's the thing. People have said like Del Rio could leave and go back to Mexico, and he would be no worse off because he's just that guy from WWE because he has the money. But in all realistically, he's not really done a lot in the WWE. He really hasn't.
No, he won Money in the Bank, didn't he?
He won. Well, no, he won the Royal Rumble. He won Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
he's had a decent push. Well, the problem is,
but I see what you're saying, Lee. They give him these shots and he just comes up short. But the guy, he's got problems. Like before he even got in, when they were getting ready to push him in WWE, he wanted to quit and go back to Mexico.
That's actually the thing.
Him back.
That's the thing.
That's true.
The rumors are circulating that the situation. Some are now reporting that the concussion wasn't a real concussion, and basically that the concussion was a real concussion. And the reason why he was being pulled is that there's a lot of beef between WWE and Alberto Del Rio, with even some saying he threatened to quit the company, which, like Joe said, isn't the first time this has happened. And I got to be honest, I buy that a lot more than I do a concussion.
Yeah, it's the thing is that the concussion, like you could see his reaction to the concussion. Like I tend to believe that, but what I don't believe is that he wasn't fit for No Way Out and he was fit for the very next night on Raw. That makes no sense whatsoever. I think that could have been an excuse extended on.
Well, Joe's been bringing up the same point as whenever we talked about Alberto Del Rio, and it's a very good one, which is basically Del Rio's been kind of saddled with JBL's old gimmick. It's like they just dusted it off and gave it to him. And one thing we talked about a few weeks ago was the idea of Alberto Del Rio winning the U.S. title and calling it the Mexican title, and getting a Mexican title built. And you can't tell me then he doesn't go from this guy again with the cars to, oh, I fucking hate this guy, because he would roll up in a Bentley, out with his.
So basically, Harrison, I mean, why don't we, instead of doing the U.S. title, how about we just send him down to Mexico to win the AAA title and make a complete joke of it? Wait.
No, but I think it was, I forget who came up with that idea for having him win the Mexican title, or win the U.S. title and call it the Mexican title. But I really like that idea. It would put a lot of heat. It would shovel heat on that guy to do that.
But I think that destroys any integrity that belt may have left, because you're going to be doing what TNA did with the TV World Elite, that one belt that they just kept changing what it was, and like every other week they're changing the name of the title. And like, why? What are you doing? Like, I don't want to see them change the name of a title. I don't want to see it. That's idiotic.
Stodgy. So stodgy, Joe. What do you think, Lee, Rob? I mean, what do you think? I bring this up because this is also being discussed in the live chat.
Rob?
Rob? Hi, Rob.
I don't think I don't think changing the name of the title works. I mean, I'm with Joe on that one. When you start changing the name of the title, I could see where it would give him some heat, but at this point, ADR's character and gimmick is so tarnished that even if he were to do something like that, it wouldn't give him the amount of heat that you'd normally expect something like that to do, and it just tarnishes the credibility of the title.
Okay, Lee, what do you think?
Yeah, get rid of the credibility, but the other side is there's not really a lot of credibility in the US title. I mean, why is Santino holding that belt? There is no reason at all. It's lost any. I mean, you had Alberto Del Rio beat Santino in what, 30 seconds?
I think the U.S. title lost any credibility it had when Sheamus was holding it, asking people to see their papers.
Yeah, see, if you want to give the U.S. title credibility again, you put it on Jack Swagger and push the All-American thing some more, and let him have a solid run with it, like Cody Rhodes did with the Intercontinental title. Not that title didn't have prestige to it, but because it will never not have prestige. It's the Intercontinental title, but it's a way to legitimize that title again. And as far as Alberto Del Rio, you want to fix him, get rid of the cars, and slowly change his gimmick. It's fine that he got saddled with the JBL gimmick if he could make it his own, and I think he's struggling with that. If you can make it your own, and it can change into something entirely brand new.
The issue with Del Rio is it's not even the cars, it's not even that. It's just the same bloody thing over and over. I mean, the cars can work, like, he can come out, but it's just the things he does in the ring. He says the same crap.
I love the cars, but I love cars. From the chat, I think they should drop the title, bring back the hardcore title, and have a table match or a ladder match each week. I thought we were talking about burying ECW.
Yeah,
no, the hardcore title was a WWE title.
Well, that's an idea. Do you think that they bring back the hardcore title?
Not while they're still doing PG.
Nope.
No. If they're gonna bring back any title, you bring back the cruiserweight title.
Yep.
Okay.
Or 2 more sets of tag titles.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. I think Lee hit the nail on the head right there.
All right. Small note. Monday's Raw got its highest rating on a 2-hour show since WrestleMania. So, hooray! Go figure with that Raw. So, now it'll be really interesting to see what the ratings look like next week. Everybody wanted to watch to see the show. I bet it was just a look. I bet it was just like a hey, look at this travesty.
Women wrestlers aren't getting paid? Why do you do a job?
Here is your win.
You do any job,
and fail
is to fucking get paid!
of the week.
All right, it's time for win fail. Basically, let's just roll with it. Joe, your win of the week. Go, Joe.
My win of the week is probably going to be.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, isn't it though? Epico Primo against Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. They're fueling the tag division. I like it.
Awesome. Rob, your win. Go.
My win of the week is going to be the Bound for Glory Battle Royal. Fuck you, Joe. I like the Bound for Glory series.
The idea is great. She's too damn long. Like my penis.
Well.
Wait, well, where'd you get that penis? Did you pick it up at Penis over on 3rd and 5th Street?
Never heard of it, but glad you know where you can get a dick.
From your mom. Oh! Lee, your win of the week.
Hanging on the wall like a gun rack.
I don't know how to follow that on.
Your win of the week,
what
sir.
I deal with every week, Lee.
Yeah,
I deal
my
with
win of the week.
shit every week.
Thanks a lot for that. My win of the week is gonna actually go. It's TNA. It's gonna go to James Storm's promo after the Bound for Glory match. I thought it was brilliant, and it was probably one of the best ones he's ever done.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's popular.
Well, fair point. My win. My win of the week was. Well, okay, it was the Triple H. Okay, it was the Triple H segment, but it was Triple H in that segment. Because, I don't know, I just feel like I'm just starting to get kind of tired of this Brock Lesnar suing storyline, because we get like these little status updates on it every now and then. It was just, I don't know, I know it's a slow burn. I know they're limited by the appearances and everything, but it's starting to feel like it's just, the storyline's kind of crap, but you can tell the Triple H is, well, I don't want to say the storyline's kind of crap. It's just like they're spreading it. It almost feels like too thin, but I was still just completely drawn in by how Triple H spun that promo, and it was great. Wins of the week from the chat, unless Garvin, you want to go? I know you said Joe Stoll. Okay. From the chat, Gary on our Facebook wall posted, win of the week was Big Johnny being fired. The key log on Twitter said Titus Leonardo's shirt was my win of the week. Will from the live chat saying Ziggler in the matches, DBD, screaming yes at Kane during NWO and kicking the ropes. Steven from the live chat is saying Kane and AJ, and Jill is saying her win of the week is TNA still being better than the WWE, and no mention at all of the draft, like how she's moving up or anything, and how I'm totally pissed off about that, but that's fine. Jairus from the chat saying no more Johnny. Robert saying Heath Slater's singing was the win of the week, and yeah. Time for fails of the week. Fails of the week, go Joe.
My fail of the week is going to be awkward because the match itself was really good. The Dolph Ziggler Jack Swagger match. Vicky trying to determine who needs her more, who's going to get her attention. They should have spun that thing so that Ziggler wins, he's cheering and leaving, and she grabs the mic and says, "Well, that settles it. Swagger gets me." Because obviously he's the one who needs more help.
Yeah, that's a good
my
point.
fail of the week.
That was something that that was brought up on Twitter a lot. Was like, well, you just had the guy win. He doesn't need the push anymore.
Yep, he doesn't need the assistance.
Yeah, exactly. Rob, your fail of the week. Go.
My fail of the week is going to be for a slightly different reason, not necessarily because it was bad or horrible. My fail of the week is going to be Sabin injuring himself again because the guy just got back from recovering from another knee injury, and now he's going to be out again for at least a few months, and that's really shitty for Chris Sabin.
Okay, Lee, your fail of the week. Go, Lee.
I've got two. I would go one as King, because his commentary this week has been god awful. I don't know what on earth or who is feeding the damn is in his ear. I don't know who's doing it, but it's awful, and they need to stop right now. It's so irritating. The second one probably has to go with John Laurinaitis appearing in 4 segments of Raw when he was supposed to be fired. It really irritates me that they couldn't wait 1 week, 2 weeks. I know it was like killing him off TV wise, but they couldn't wait just to. He appeared in 4 segments and he was fired. It was so irritating.
Lee, you stole basically both my fails. Yeah. Bad. My fail is Lee for stealing both of my fails.
Well, fuck you.
Well, we stole this country, though, so I guess we could call it even. Gary on our Facebook wall said, Phil of the week, not seeing what happened in the back after Kane carried AJ to the back at No Way Out. Will from the live chat saying, coincides with my fail of WWE never showing 26 shots of DDB laid into him. Steven from the live chat, failed, lost 3 masked amigos, attacking Sting, and no reaction from security or the locker room. That was kind of weird. Jill from the live chat saying, King's fucking commentary at No Way Out. Also, too many segments on Raw. Well, the thing is, though, Raw is after a pay-per-view. Of course it's going to have a ton of segments. Jarvis from the live chat, Sabin injured again, and Robert from the live chat, the Tuxedo match. That was basically everybody's fail. I don't think it really needed to be mentioned. Lee, if anybody wants to get a hold of you, how do they do it?
Oh, they can go to www.twitter.com and the hashtag, what the hell am I on now? They can go to @WNSource. They can go to www.facebook.com/wrestlingnewssource. And they can go to www.wrestlingnewssource.com for any news, rumors, or anything I feel like posting.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Fantastic. And that's it. That's the show. As you can tell, we're just like, oh, no, wait, that's not it. That's right. My FTW, okay, so for the draft, I finally dropped Randy Orton and picked up Brock Lesnar. I don't know. I mean, the way I'm looking at this is there's no chance in hell anybody's going to win besides Mike at this point, but I have a chance to right a wrong. I have a chance to beat Joe. Joe, you won last season, and I came in last place.
Hey, Harrison,
So
I did.
What?
Did I win? I thought Garvin won. Garvin inserted me at the very last moment. Yeah,
won?
yeah. Garvin won. He beat me in the last couple of weeks. Yeah.
All right.
So you know what, Harrison? Go fuck yourself.
Well, whatever. Anyway, well, here, then you're really going to hate me now, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop Brock Lesnar and I'm going to pick up Jey Uso. This pretty much assures me that there is no way in hell I'm going to be in last place, because any points you get from one Uso, I'll get from the other.
Unless it's a single match, because Jimmy Uso did a singles match recently, and I've got other tag team members out there that you can't possibly cover at all anymore.
Yeah, but at least I'm hedging my bets somewhat. Look, I'm just going to, because once Orton was gone, I'm just going to be tumbling down on this damn thing.
Man, the Lions had an 0-16 season, and so I'm going to have an 0-16 season here. But I'm coming out strong next season.
Why did you drop Orton? I know he's suspended and all, but he'll be back in like a month, and he'll win. He'll win every match.
It was a 60-day suspension. It's because of this policy that's outside of our draft.
Yeah, he's not coming back for that one. And our season ends next month. What's the last?
SummerSlam, I believe, is the last, right?
No, I thought it was the TNA one.
No, it's before SummerSlam. Okay.
I thought it was the TNA pay-per-view is when it's over.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna pick up I'm gonna pick up JU. So anyway, that's it. That's the show. As you can tell, we're just a group of friends that do this in our spare time. We don't charge for this like some do, but we do work really hard at making sure that we put out some quality entertainment for you, dog shaking aside. We're not asking you to send us your money, but if you want to, you can do so by buying a t-shirt. They're totally awesome. You can visit our site, ftwpodcast.com, and select the merch link at the top. Take a look at the shirts available. If you got an idea for a shirt, let us know. I tweeted out Goat-Faced Killa as a shirt idea, so I might actually have to start making that one because it seemed like people really like that. So I'll see what I can do about doing a Goat-Faced Killa t-shirt. Otherwise, if you don't have the cash but you really like to show your support, you can rate us on iTunes and help us improve our rank in their system. The higher up we get, the better chance we'll get more listeners. You can also tell your friends and spread the word about us. We're incredibly easy to find. You can hit us up at ftwpodcast.com, facebook.com/ftwpodcast. Like us there. Always great discussion going on. twitter.com/ftwpodcast, youtube.com/the FTW Podcast, and you can let your voices be heard by leaving us a voicemail at 313-444-FTW4. That's 313-444-3894. And you can also email your questions to questions@ftwpodcast.com. Thank you, everyone in the live chat. The Hive Mind runs like you guys just make the show awesome. Thanks to Lee for coming on again, buddy. You are great. And we record every FTW Podcast episode on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. at ftwlive.com. See you guys next Tuesday.
Wait, one last thing. ODB was just traded for Magnus by Diva Jill.
Bro, in the live chat, no less. Wow, look at that. Okay, so ODB is now free. If anybody here has any free, draft picks and wants to pick up probably the scariest person on TNA's roster, you can do so. She's so scary.
One more thing, guys. Just got to throw it in there. Upcoming, and I'll get the dates for the next show. Russell, we've talked about in the past, Allison Kay is wrestling in a show, I believe, next month with, I don't know if she's facing Daphne, but Daphne is on the card. So apparently Daphne's getting back in the ring.
Hey, fantastic.
Yes, I forgot to write that one down. Sorry about the late one on that.
No, that's great. And we'll definitely keep our eye on that one and get you guys posted as we know things. All right, then we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Latest.